This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Samsung Exhibit 4G. Boy, these names are getting sillier and sillier. On T-Mobile. This is an affordable Android phone, but that doesn't mean you're slumming if you get it. It actually has quite nice specs. It's got a 1 gigahertz Hummingbird CPU, single core. It has an 800 by 480 pixel capacitive touch screen, and it's an AMOLED screen, not Super AMOLED Plus like Samsung's highest end phones, but still it's a pretty nice bright screen, especially if you've got saturated images like that to look at. Of course, it has Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN. It has 4G on T-Mobile's network, Bluetooth, a GPS, and it has a rear 3 megapixel camera. It's a little low on the spec end, and a front VGA camera with quick video chat, which is T-Mobile's favorite app to bundle for video chatting on Android. Take a look at the phone. You can see it has this funny little taper here at the bottom. It kind of reminds us of the Droid Charge made by Samsung on Verizon. And you've got a textured end cap here, kind of faux leather pebbling going on. A little bit of gloss over here, but mostly it's a kind of matte, not slippery, not fingerprint loving finish, which is really different for Samsung, who loves their gloss black piano finishes. You can see here's the camera with the LED flash, your speaker opening over here. And on the side we've got the power button. They like to put the power button on the side of Samsung. Top is your micro USB port with the little door on top that Samsung also favors. 3.5mm stereo headphone jack. Volume controls right here, and here's your micro SD card slot. It comes with a 4 gig card. It has about 250 megs of available internal storage and everything else you can put on the card here. And if we go back to the front again, you'll notice that this is a little different than your standard usual 4 Android buttons, which are generally capacitive touch buttons. You've got 3 capacitive buttons here, search, back, and menu, and this is your home button right here. I find that a bit annoying. It's much easier to just touch all the buttons in a single plane like that, but it does function like a home button does. You can press and hold to see which apps are running, for example, and go to Samsung's Task Manager right there. The phone is running Android OS 2.3.3 Gingerbread. That is the latest and greatest version of the operating system. There is a 2.3.4 that adds support for Google Talk video chat. This does not have it so far. Phones are not showing up with that except for the Nexus S. It does run TouchWiz. You can see a little customization down here. You've got your application launcher right here, but otherwise it's pretty low-key. As you can see, it's not the usual TouchWiz kind of cartoony icons. These are standard Android icons. We do have the usual TouchWiz side-to-side swipe. There's 4 pages of icons available right now, or applications, and you just swipe sideways. Do so. It's a responsive phone. It scores about 950 on Quadrant, and that's not super duper impressive, but Hummingbird CPUs for some reason never really do well on Quadrant. Experientially it is fast, and the Hummingbird processor has a really nice GPU in it, so it's pretty good for gaming as well. Obviously, if you have something like the Samsung Vibrant, you're not going to upgrade to this phone. This would be a slight step down. You're losing the Super AMOLED and going down to AMOLED and then lowering your camera resolution. But other than that, it's relatively speaking fairly comparable in terms of features, and that means as a $79 with contract phone, this is a pretty nice entry-level Android phone. It does most everything that the original Galaxy S line, meaning the Vibrant, does. It has 4G on T-Mobile, as we mentioned, and it does have Wi-Fi calling, which will turn off your cellular radio if you turn that on. That means as long as you're in range of a Wi-Fi hotspot, you can make calls for free. If you walk out of range of that Wi-Fi hotspot, you will drop the call. This is not the old-style UMA calling where it would hand off to the cellular network. But hey, it doesn't use your planned minutes, and you can't beat that. You can also do Wi-Fi mobile hotspot tethering with this, USB tethering as well. Data speeds are pretty good on it. We've been averaging about 3.5 megs down, which is not quite as fast as our Sensation 4G and our LG G2X, but a lot of that has to do with the chipset and the conditions. In terms of cellular reception on a given day, I would say that that's pretty respectable, though. Another nice thing about the phone is it's not very big. Here it is next to the 4.3-inch HTC Sensation 4G. You can see it's quite a bit smaller. So for those of you who want something pocketable but reasonably powerful with a really nice and sharp display, it's pretty attractive too. And now we're comparing it to the Samsung Infuse 4G on AT&T, which is a 4.5-inch Super AMOLED Plus display phone. And you can see that it compares fairly nicely in terms of screen quality. Obviously, it's way smaller. This is one of the biggest phones on the market, the Infuse. Call quality is very good. Really enjoy using this as a voice phone. Reception is average. It's pretty much like my Nexus S. And I would say that it's quite full and clear, nearly landline good. You've got all the standard Google software in here, the Android Market, the WebKit web browser. Since it's running Gingerbread, you've got Flash, and you can put Flash 10.3 on here to watch some videos. And we've got a bunch of added software from the folks at T-Mobile and Samsung. We've got some games on here. We've also got T-Mobile's App Pack. We've got Bejeweled 2, Doodle Jump. We have Drive Smart, which is a fairly useful utility, actually. DLNA is on here for those of you who like to stream over Wi-Fi in your home network. Got a file manager. We've got T-Mobile's Highlight on here, their device information and their account information application as well. Samsung, we have the Memo app and their Mini Diary, which is kind of a cool app. And we've got Scrabble as well, T-Mobile Mall, and Swipe is here for those of you who like Swipe for the keyboard. This is a 3.5-inch display, so it's a little bit harder to type on. The keys are going to be a little bit smaller, so Swipe can make a difference. For those of you who are accustomed to perhaps the larger 4-inch display on something like the Vibrant. As we mentioned, you've got quick video chat over here for using the front VGA camera for video chat. T-Mobile TV's on board, and so is Samsung's Media Hub. Both of these offer you the chance to stream and download movies and TV shows, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. You've got Samsung's video player, voice recorder, and their Right to Go application, which is a teeny-weeny little word processor you can use to shoot updates to both Twitter and Facebook. And for those of you who don't like Google's navigation and turn-by-turn directions, Telenav is on here as well. That is a $9.99 a month service that provides spoken turn-by-turn directions, POIs, and more. We'll take a look at T-Mobile TV first, which uses the 3G connection. They actually tell you to turn Wi-Fi off to use it. Of course, it uses the 4G connection as well. And you get a trial with this if you haven't ever tried it out before on a T-Mobile phone, and it too is $9.99 a month. And this is powered by Mobi TV. And you've got Fox News, MSNBC, ESPN, CNBC, ABC Mobile. You've got a whole lot of stuff to watch here. And it will buffer up and then it'll start playing in full screen.
Yeah, well, I dropped it off last night and I thought maybe you'd have the results. What time does the lab open? 9? Okay, you've done this a zillion times. I mean,
it's not as smooth and high quality. Obviously, we've got some buffering issues going on here, but it's not as smooth and high quality as the dual-core phones, the Sensation 4G or the LG G2X. But then again, this phone is a lot less expensive, too. And now we'll check out Samsung's own Media Hub. If you like it, you can create an account there and you can download movies and TV shows to watch. And we'll just pick something from the front screen. You can choose to watch the preview. You can buy it for $18 or rent it for $4. Samsung's Media Hub service allows you to stream to your choice of up to 5 devices. So that means you can actually rent something and watch it on your PC if you want.
you don't remember my name, do you?
Did you have a good time last night?
That's alright.
Media Hub quality is actually really very good.
I just passed out on your couch.
Yeah, you were naked and crying. Do you like her?
I can't date her. She's my oldest.
I'm a doctor.
So that's Samsung's Media Hub.
Someone's gonna be able
The phone has a 1500 milliamp battery that's user replaceable underneath the back door, and battery life on seems to be quite good for a reasonably speaking mid to high end phone. Had no trouble making it through the day. Obviously, if you're going to watch movies all day, streaming media, and using it as a GPS, then you might have shorter battery life, but still it should make it through the day easily for most folks. The phone's available with the black back that we have here, and it's also available with a violet back. I guess that resonates with T-Mobile's kind of magenta color. GPS works fine on the device, and before we go and just cover the home screen here, we've got a social networking widget that's from Samsung. Handles Facebook and Twitter. And that's about it for Samsung's custom widgets. You've got 5 home screens here to work with, and you can put whatever app shortcuts you want on here. So that's the Samsung Exhibit 4G. It's available on T-Mobile for $79.99 with a contract. And again, as a really solid introductory phone, better than intro level certainly. Phone, this is pretty nice for the money. You get that 3.5-inch AMOLED display with 800 by 40 resolution and gigahertz CPU, front-facing video chat camera, and about 80% of the stuff that you would get on a Vibrant for a whole lot less money than the Vibrant cost when it came out. So certainly that price is a very compelling phone. If you're not already running on something like a Vibrant, or you're on a feature phone or a very low-end Android phone you're looking to move up, this is definitely a very good pick. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and visit our website for the full review.